Thanks, Jacques and AJ. Yes, so today we will be highlighting the Lyon Air Museum. Thank you for that introduction. So, the Lyon Air Museum was founded by Major General William Lyon. The museum is located on the west side of the John Wayne Airport in Orange County, California. The Lyon Air Museum is collocated with Martin Aviation, an award winning jet, turboprop, and piston powered aircraft repair facility established in 1923 by famed aviation pioneer Eddie Martin. Now, the Lyon Air Museum exhibit is comprised of authentic aircrafts, rare vehicles, and related memorabilia with emphasis on World War II. Through captivating and thought provoking exhibits based in historical scholarship, visitors can gain a better understanding of the important role that the United States has played in shaping world history. William Lyon was a Major General of the United States Air Force who served as Commander of the United States Air Force Reserve Command. Lyon was born in Los Angeles, California in 1923. Prior to entering the U.S. Air Corps in 1943, he attended the University of Southern California and the Dallas Aviation School and Air College. Lyon enlisted in the U.S. Army Air Corps as a reservist in 1943 and continued serving as a civilian flight instructor until he received a direct appointment as a flight officer in June 1944 during World War II. His military decorations and awards included the Legion of Merit, Distinguished Flying Cross, Air Medal with 2 oak leaf clusters, and the Presidential Unit Citation, just to name a few. So he's very well decorated, and of course, then went on to found the Lyon Air Museum. This is the museum's C-47 Dakota, recently christened Willowdene, and this plane has had a long and successful service life. Transferred from the U.S. Air Force to the French in May of 1945, this aircraft continued to fly for the most part unmodified, unlike so many of its contemporaries. And in 1967, it again changed ownership, this time transferring to the Israelis. There, it continued service without major modification, ultimately being sold to the civilian market, where it found its way to the Lyon Air Museum as one of the most complete and original C-47s currently in operation. Willowdene now carries the colors of the 440th Troop Carrier Group's 97th Troop Carrier Squadron, complete with D-Day invasion stripes. This aircraft weighs over 17,000 pounds, has a wingspan of 95 feet, and can fly up to 3,800 miles. Here's the museum's B-17 Flying Fortress, nicknamed Fuddy Duddy. This aircraft was used as VIP transport in the Pacific at the end of World War II. It once carried General Dwight D. Eisenhower, who of course later became the 34th President of the United States. In civilian life, it worked as a fire bomber and was occasionally used for motion picture filming, flying on screen in movies such as the 1962 Steve McQueen movie, The War Lover, and the 1970 blockbuster Tora Tora Tora. This plane weighs 34,000 pounds, has a wingspan of 103 feet, and can fly up to 1,850 miles. The Douglas A-26 Invader fought in more wars than any other aircraft of this aircraft type of its era. Americans flew the attack bomber in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, while other air forces fought with it in Indochina, Algeria, Biafra, Cuba, the Congo, and at least a dozen other conflicts. This Douglas A-26B Invader, named Feeding Frenzy, was built at the end of World War II and spent time flying with the French in Indochina in the 1950s. It was later operated by Hughes Tool Company, and it's reported that Howard Hughes himself flew this very airplane, as he did with most of the planes that his company owned. And today, Feeding Frenzy wears Korean War colors. The Bird Dog was first built in 1950 by the Cessna Aircraft Company as a reconnaissance plane for the U.S. Army. Between 1950 and 1964, 3,398 airframes were built. Originally called the L-19, it was later redesignated as the O-1 in 1962. And it saw extensive combat duty in Korea and Vietnam, often at the hands of former fighter and bomber pilots from World War II. The bird dog served with the U.S. Army, U.S. Air Force, U.S. Marine Corps, and a host of 19 foreign countries as well. And many people consider the bird dog the finest observation aircraft ever produced. Painted in the markings of the U.S. Army's 183rd Seahorses during their duty in Vietnam, the bird dog on display at the Lyon Air Museum serves as a tribute to the many brave pilots who flew visual and photo reconnaissance, artillery adjustment, forward air control, and search and rescue missions during that war. Typically armed with only hand grenades, an automatic rifle, and white phosphorus smoke target marking rockets, some enterprising crews of this low-flying observation plane soon sought modifications to include wing or cabin-mounted M60 machine guns, giving their bird dogs a more lethal bite. The 183rd Reconnaissance Airplane Company was formed at Fort Hood, Texas, and deployed to Vietnam in May of 1966. The DC-3 airliner was not only comfortable and reliable, but it also made air transportation profitable. American Airlines' C.R. Smith said that the DC-3 was the first airplane that could make money just by hauling passengers without relying on government subsidies. By 1939, more than 90% of the nation's airline passengers were flying on DC-2s and DC-3s. Flagship Orange County, the name of this plane, is the Lyon Air Museum's own DC-3 in American Airlines livery. It started life as a C-47A built during World War II, and prior to its conversion to airliner configuration, it flew with the U.S. Air Force's famed 440th Troop Carrier Group. And just before midnight, on June 5, 1944, this aircraft was positioned at Exeter Field in England, ready to fly across the Channel with hundreds of other Dakotas. Its assigned mission: to drop members of the 101st Airborne, the Screaming Eagles, over Drop Zone Delta to support the D-Day invasion in Normandy at 1:40 a.m. on the morning of June 6, 1944. So moving away from airplanes to other vehicles, Tempo was founded in 1924 by Oscar Vidal as the Vidal and Son Tempo Werke in Hamburg, Germany. The company became well known in Germany for its line of small cars and vans, and later for its production of military vehicles during World War II. The two exposed spare wheels at the center are free to rotate about their respective axles. So in rough terrain, this aided in the prevention of high centering, reducing the tendency for the vehicle to become stuck while following artillery guns on rough terrain. And in addition to conventional front wheel steering, the rear wheels of this vehicle were also steerable. 1,335 units were produced from 1936 to 1944, mainly for export as staff and command field cars. Foreign users included Romania, Sweden, Denmark, Latvia, Mexico, Brazil, Finland, and Chile. However, several dozen were used by Germany, in particular with the Nazi Party's famed Schutzstaffel, or SS, which translates to Shield Squadron. And finally, we end on an American classic, America's oldest motorcycle brand. The company was founded as the Hendy Manufacturing Company by George M. Hendy and Carl Oscar Hedstrom in Springfield, Massachusetts in 1901, 2 years before their famous rival, Harley-Davidson Motor Company. But this company later became known as the Indian Motorcycle Manufacturing Company. And during World War II, the Chiefs, as these bikes were known, served as military couriers and scout transports. So I hope you all enjoyed a little tour of some of the iconic planes and vehicles at the Lyon Air Museum. And if you're ever in Orange County, be sure to stop by and you can see them in person. Thank you.